first ever collab on the channel. Come and join us, guys. Hey there, guys, it's Ryan Raids, and this is another Raid Shadow Legend video. Guys, we're over on the Hell Hades free-to-play account. It may look like there's no one here, but I'm actually joined by a guest from another channel. So I'm welcoming John Bowl to the channel. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Good to be here.
I'm not bad. How's about yourself?
Not too bad. Early Sunday over here, and just enjoying my weekend off until with a little raid, you know?
Yeah, I'm off until like Tuesday night now. Tuesday night, and then I go back to work.
There you go.
Hold up there, guys. Click the link in the description right now to get the epic champion Uugo for free, as well as 2 more amazing free epics as you level up. Here are the exact steps you need to follow. Step 1, log out of Plarium Play on the PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4, go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Here we go. You'll find Uugo here, as well as Tagoar and Rector Drath as you level out your account. If you've been watching the free-to-play series that I've been involved in, you'll know how good these epics really are. Then use the promo code SUPREME6 to get yourself a crazy Void Legendary in Supreme Gaelic. So get yourself an amazing start in Raid Shadow Legends by clicking on the link and following the steps. We're on the free-to-play, and we have both been on it since the start.
Absolutely. That's
how we sort of met, wasn't it? We sort of come across in a Discord chat in the Hell Hades creator group. So,
yeah, I think you helped me out big time getting me some of those like Android login, because I only have iPhone. Promo code, if you remember, really early in that. I think that's how, like, our first interaction.
Yeah. So, like, what made you wanted to do the Hell Hades challenge? So, like, what made you want to do it?
Well, I guess it all comes down to, I've had a channel for slightly less than a year, and I like doing kind of free-to-play or just playlist-style videos where I'm just like, here's my daily progression after, you know, every couple days a week, and I thought that this was going to be, honestly, a good opportunity to showcase what I know and what I'm able to do, but then also maybe get my name out there a little bit, trying to grow the channel a little bit. I think that's kind of was the main appeal for me.
Yeah, so, like, I didn't think I was going to compete with the top guys because obviously they do it for a job, don't they? But yeah, I personally got involved because I just wanted to meet people who were trying to do the same thing as me. I didn't think I was going to go on there and be like, yeah, I'm going to be speaking to Hell Hades and sort of them lot. So I started speaking to you quite regularly, and I was actually speaking to another guy called, do you remember a guy on there called Reroll Raider?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was speaking to him most days, and I was going to do a collab with him at some point, but he stopped playing. I think he quit after like a month, to be fair. So that was like sort of my motive to get involved with it. It wasn't necessarily to go on there and be like, yeah, I'm going to try and win the competition, because I knew I wasn't. I've not been playing for as long as some of the people on there. They've been playing, what, 5-6 years, haven't they? Yeah. I literally went on there just to try and meet other people like myself. So yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that mindset, because, you know, it's got a game that has fans that play a lot, but at the same time, I don't really know a ton of people in life that I interact with daily that are playing Raid. Yeah. So you have to go and kind of seek out that, you know, that friend group, if you will. Yeah,
I literally know one person who plays this game, and like somehow he got me like hooked on it.
Same. Except for I was the person hooking somebody else up to the game.
Oh, right, so. Yeah. So we're just going to pause here, guys, and what I want you to do is, if you've not watched any of John's content, I watch it on a regular basis. I watch it most days, to be fair. He does some really good stuff. He's got a series with Solely Voids, and he's obviously been doing the Hell Hades free-to-play challenge. Go check out his channel. I'll link it down in the description below. Show him some love and watch some of his videos, because they are pretty good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So my sort of like process at the start was just to get as many 6 stars as I could straight away.
Yeah.
And I ignored dungeons, I ignored faction wars, I ignored everything apart from getting 6 stars. And I was trying to keep up with whoever was like at the top of that table with upgrading champions. And I sort of stayed there most of the way. And that was like the plan. And it didn't do me great in those first 3 weeks, because everyone was flying ahead on dungeons. They were like flying ahead on clan boss. They were flying ahead and everything. and I was just in the campaign grinding out champions and grinding out food. But then I think like after a month, that second month, it switched because I had quite a few 6-star champions then. And once I started gearing them out, because I was like, how many have I got now? I've got 4, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I got 11, I think. 11 6 stars. So
man,
it didn't do me too bad towards the end, you know?
Yeah, playing the long game a little bit. I think some people mistake this game as being a hero collector game when it's really a resource management game disguised as a hero collector game.
Yeah.
You know, and so just getting 6 stars, I mean, it's a bit of a slow rolling strategy. But I heard you mention like you didn't really farm the dungeons too much. And actually,
no.
I had a fairly similar experience where I was not farming. I did not push hard in the dungeons till the last 2 weeks or so. And then at that point, I was pushing high enough. I just wanted to get like bonus points.
Yeah, because the points are like one off, so it doesn't matter when you've done it. You're all going to get those same level of points, apart from on the bonuses, the monthly bonuses. So I like in my original free to play, I've never farmed a dungeon apart from the fusion because I just think the gear sets are just crap. Most of them are just obsolete and it's just a waste of energy. So it's all about the 9 pieces now, isn't it? And you need to go after the 9 pieces and then use your forge and like your forge pass to get better gear. Because the only ones I really farm is when there's like a 2 or 3 times chance for like speed, savage, regen. Do you know what I mean? I just don't go in there and chuck load of energy at it. I just don't see the point.
Well, and there's gear sets that are absolutely busted that are not even the 9-piece gear sets, but then you don't have to use energy in the Doom Tower. Like the Griffin is an extremely easy boss to farm, in my opinion. And like, it's not as good as regen, but there are circumstances where it's actually better. So it's got a little bit of variability in how good it is. But most of my account, like I have progressed through Guardian. Like I just have these champions that I know are tanky. Like Sabbatha, for example. Most people got a Sabbatha, found a set of Guardian, and I threw it in that. And so then even if you don't have an ally protector, she now has that ally protection bonus at the time you don't even need the buff. And she's healing up on her A1 plus the Guardian.
Yeah.
You know, those sets are super valuable. And the most important part is you actually get resources for farming it instead of spending resources to farm it.
Yeah, so I've got her in Immortal, and then I've got her in two sets of Resilience. So, yeah, she's a pretty good little champion, to be fair.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's pretty good champion. And then, like, the Guardian gear, I beat Bommel 90 using that Templar. So
seen that strategy going around.
Yeah, so Hell Hades done it with regen and Immortal, and then I was on his video going, because he didn't look like he was going to die, and I said you could probably get away with that with Bolster and Immortal. And then I had a few people coming on and go, oh, no chance, you got no chance. And I thought actually, but then I finished the Forge Pass and my Bolster was just utter trash. So I was like, I'm literally going to have to go Guardian and make sure no one gets to the final fight alive. So Templar isn't taking any extra damage. And yeah, he done it quite comfortably, to be fair. He done it really comfortably.
Yeah, see, that's a hurdle that I have a hard time this early in the game. And even though I know it would have helped me in the free-to-play challenge, but I just have a hard time, like the mental block of this champion's only going to help me in one spot, like building it at that point is always a challenge for me to get past.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it on any other account. It was only because I was just, as I was progressing up the leaderboard, I was like, oh, I might be able to get into the top 20. And then I was like, how can I do it? How can I get the extra points? And then it's like I got to the top 15. I was like, right, I'm not that far off top 10 now. So can I push? And I was trying to find every little way to get those extra points where people wasn't doing it. So it sort of paid off in the long run.
Totally. So, yeah, if you're willing to do it. And you already had a healthy roster of 6 stars. Kind of going for you. I'm notorious for, if I can't auto battle it the first time, I quit and try it back. Like, I'll try it again in a couple days. And for this challenge, at least, that's probably the wrong mindset to take. Yeah,
so I had to manual bommel with him. I was sitting there just spamming the A1, and then before the bombs come off, put the block damage out, and then it took like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but the bommel is like that, though. Bommel's just like that.
It got me the extra, like, I think it's like 10 points for the boss and then 2 points for each floor. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do it. So, like, table-wise, I've dropped to actually 11th now. Cole Red has actually gone above me by 7 points.
Those are good names to be in company with, though.
Yeah. So we got Bront and Bone at the top, haven't we, on 12k. That is nuts.
I literally don't even know how you can do that. I just don't. I've seen some of his content. I haven't been like, I'm not like a regular watcher of that, but that's like mind blowing for me because I've relaxed the amount of playing over the last like 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
On the free to play. But I mean, I was grinding. I was using all my energy every single day,
Yeah.
you know, and I just don't think the biggest difference is classic arena and faction wars.
Yeah. And it's their clan boss scores. It's their clan boss scores and their chimera scores because they're actually in my clan. Bront's in my clan. Dante Raids is in my clan because, well, to be fair, Bront hasn't actually pulled anything decent apart from a Geo.
Yeah.
So he got a Geo, yeah. And then, but then you had like Dante Raids. He pulled 2 Harimas like straight away. And then you had Lumi get Helicath, and they're all in my clan, see. And I'm just like, oh man, I've got absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's a big fear of missing out that goes into effect around this challenge.
Yeah, so you're down in 28th at 6513. I reckon you could have. If we went the 3 months, I reckon you could have pushed up further than that.
Yeah, so I got up to 26 after the reset on Friday.
Yeah.
And then I put out my video on Saturday talking about the fusion. And basically in that video I just came to the conclusion that this is probably the end of the series for me, just because I need that fusion on my main account and I do not have the mental fortitude to manage 3 different Raid Shadow Legends accounts with fidelity, you know?
Yeah. Right, let's switch over to...
I do think I pushed pretty hard into the dungeons though, and so that was kind of my goal after a while once I kind of saw the writing on the wall was like, how far can I push in these specific areas? So we're looking at the... Yeah,
individual tables.
Okay.
So I'm up there with 11 6 stars, and Bront's got 13, that's like 13 in 8 weeks. Oh man.
Yeah, I got 9. And
then you've got tracks on Sundays, 524 stars on Faction Wars.
This dude, if you guys aren't familiar with him, you need to check his channel out because he's kind of the one that got me on the Only Voids, Solely Voids challenge or thing. The work that this guy can do in Faction Wars is wild. He sees things in rares and bad epics that nobody else sees, and I mean, it's showing right there.
Yeah, because Hell Hades is like a good level player, isn't he?
Yeah.
And like he is like smashed past him. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's got 40 more than the next closest guy.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then like fastest champion Bone, he's got 313 speed after 3 weeks. 8 weeks, sorry. What?
Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy. There was a point when I have played Raid on like my main account where like 313 was like pretty good.
Yeah.
You know
and he
like,
just smacked it out in 8 weeks. Like,
that's crazy.
And it's just like the same with like Doom Tower. Like on rotation 3, Hell Hades is up to hard stage 49.
Crazy what you can do though when you grind a lot and you know what you're doing on top of it. Like that's an underrated part. It's really easy for me, who's somewhere a little further back, to say, oh well, you know, Hell Hades got a Nekmothar and a Lady Kimmy, or so and so got a Harima, but you don't push this high up into Doom Tower this early unless you know exactly what to do and how to do it.
Yeah. So looking at the dungeons, I think you beat me in most of them. So like Dragon, I'm 10th.
I'm willing to bet that I am 11th. I would bet, because I was at like 6 for a long time until the push. And then because I had gotten to hard stage 5, and I think mine is like right around there. I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, you beat me out by like 8 seconds. So I'm willing to bet I'm 11.
Yeah. And then like Ice Golem is 2nd and I'm 8th. Mm-hmm. So you got into
Ice Golem is a painful one. That is a fight that I'm just killing them with poisons. I don't have a whole lot of like crit rate or raw damage dealing in that. So
yeah,
it allowed me to get that.
You did hard 1 in 11 minutes 45, and I've done 24 and 12 minutes 55.
Yeah, I have like 2 decrease attack champions. Make sure it's always up. It's 3. I think in that I have a champion in lifesteal, 2 champions in guardian, and 2 champions or 1 champion in regen, 1 champion in bolster, if that tells you how I got it done.
And then Fire Knight, you were 3rd. So you were like pumping dungeons, because I ain't even in the top Fire Knight. I think I got to 19. I'm not a fan of Fire Knight, to be fair. I don't like necessarily fighting the Fire Knight, but it's one of those ones. It's kind of like the Dark Fae boss. It's not fun to fight at all because it's super frustrating. But once it's done, it's very satisfying.
And so those are the teams that I really like to build, where it's like it's a satisfying thing. And I do like, of all the dungeons, I think this is a pretty universal thing. The Fire Knight is like the only dungeon where I'm like, okay, this one's good. Because like if you want to compete in faction wars, stun set's really good. Crit damage is not terrible. And then Savage and Regen are obviously pretty solid. So of the dungeons we had mentioned, most of the gear sets suck, and you're right. But the Fire Knight's got the only one where it's like, okay, this is solid.
Yeah, it's definitely got the best gear set. I think Ice Golem is just trash, isn't it? What sets?
It's got some niche sets where like certain champions can get like a Provoker, a Hex set, but it's few and far between.
So, and then like Spider, none of us are up there, and Minotaur, none of us are up there.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about Spider is that one is a little bit more champion dependent than maybe some of the other ones. I guess Fire Knight is like that also, but it's just like you got to either have crazy stats to nuke them all down, or you got to have like a burn or or something. Like actually Hell Hades, if you look at his team, that's crazy. He's got Nekmothar, Sabbatha. Like he doesn't have a burn or a way to like CC those champions. That's wild that he's been able to get that far.
How is he doing that then, do you reckon? He's putting like decreased speed out from Nekmothar and then increased speed.
Yeah.
And then because like
I wish I could see the stats of like his Cold Heart. Like
because I've got,
she's got to be going so fast.
Yeah, that's bonkers, isn't it? That's absolutely bonkers. But then Trax is doing it in like 4 minutes quicker.
Yeah, he's got some really good champions for this, though.
Oh, he's got Mordecai.
He's got Mordecai, and then actually Flannan is a decreased speed champion as well. And then my guess is Creedon's freezing a lot of them.
Yeah.
So he's got the champions to get it done.
Yeah, he's got nice champions for that.
And that's why you see the speed difference.
Yeah, definitely. And then our little potion keeps. Did you bother pushing any of them to try and increase your times, or didn't you bother?
No, I didn't try to push the times. On the first month, I did push to get into the top 10, and I think I was in the top 10 for all of them at the end of the first month. But then, I mean, some of them were really slow runs. Like, there wasn't a lot of people getting to 20 on all of those yet. And so at that time, I was one of the first few, but I haven't gone back to the potions probably since that week.
Yeah, so I pushed it. When was the bonus? On Friday, wasn't it? So
yes.
So I pushed it like when it went to the Sunday before that Friday, I did like the Void Keep, and I was like, it's not going to be done again, so I'm just going to push it. And I got 6th, and then every day when the potion keeps open a certain affinity, I just pushed it as hard as I could just to get the extra points. That's all I cared about. But I didn't manage to scrape into Force or Magic. So
Magic's actually not the easiest one in the world.
No.
That shield and all the buffs and stuff. All the other ones are pretty straightforward. I guess I shouldn't say Spirit can be kind of a pain in the butt, but my guess is you can just nuke her down eventually. But a Cold Heart, I got a Cold Heart very early.
Force was a challenge because every champion we had at the start was Magic, wasn't it?
Yeah, like all of them. Literally all of them.
Well, like even
I think I upgraded like 5 Magic champions before I even got to a different type.
Yeah, because even like Clan Boss now, it's like 4 of my team Magic, so I'm all right for like Spirit, Magic, Void. I get decent scores, and then as soon as Force rocks around, I'm like, yeah, that's a 4 key. Like it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
And then
how's your Clan Boss team doing?
How's my? I normally 2 key it.
Okay.
When it's Spirit and Void.
Yes, same.
And then on Magic, it's sort of like tinkering between 2 and 3. And then as soon as it hits Force, it's a 4 key. It's a straight 4 key.
Mine's similar to that.
Like none of us looks like we bothered with Iron Twins. We're not on there.
I tried to push as hard or as high as I can go, but the energy cost on that's very high. Like even the early stages are like 12 or more energy per run.
Yeah.
And it kind of deterred me.
And then you're 2nd for Sand Devil, and I'm 9th.
Yeah, I pushed pretty hard in this one just because I went for 2 Prism events. One had like a Priest Ornn in it that I really wanted, and then the most recent one had a Geomancer in it that I really wanted, and obviously I didn't get either of those.
Yeah.
And so just kind of naturally I ended up pushing it, but really it just comes down to kind of the same thing. If you click and look at my team on that, it's Tagoar, Coldheart, Alice, Sabbatha, Skaramis, and it's kind of the same strategy that I've been utilizing in a lot. Tagoar, Bolster, Sabbatha, Guardian, Skaramis, Guardian, and then Coldheart just has that max HP nuke, but then Alice is in Lifesteal. So if you can't tell what my strategy often is
Yeah, because how
tanky
Hades, he didn't have his Alice in lifesteal. He had her in Savage. I can't remember what the other, maybe it's like Speed, but he had Savage on her. And I don't know how he was like keeping her alive, like going all the way deep into that content.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be a situation where she dies a lot and just keeps getting brought back and it's maybe fast enough.
Maybe.
Or she's nuking them down and then, gets a shield with Tagoar, and she's putting them on cooldown. I think there's a variety of different things. Pushing turn meter back with Necmo is going to be helpful too.
Yeah, so Shogun, I didn't bother with that all the way through, only until a few days before the bonus points update, and I managed to get 6th. So
yeah, actually, I'm guessing Alice is going to be a hard carry in this. It just depends on where your souls are coming from. Just in my Solely Voids account, I've been pushing Shogun recently because of a variety of different challenges.
Yeah.
And the dungeon isn't as bad after the rework as it used to be assuming that you have souls. Like, souls are a very, very big part of that.
He doesn't hit as hard either, does he? I noticed that.
No.
When I was going up, because I got up to like level 16.
Yeah.
And he wasn't hitting that hard. I went to 17. I tried 17 and he wiped me out. But all the way up to 16, he wasn't hitting that hard, to be fair. I didn't think he was.
Yeah.
And then,
if you have like a cold heart, like a max HP early or in the early stages, even if she's got the enfeeble, the max HP still hits.
Yeah. And then the event dungeon, like, I don't think any of us bothered with that. Did you bother with that?
I tried. I really did. I just don't. Maybe I just didn't get it this time around. I'm looking at like Nevas. That's a pretty good team. But I don't know what it was. I just could not get through the waves. I think that's where maybe my Alice not being in Savage and rather being in Lifesteal really hurt me, because the boss is easy if you can kill the ads, and I just had a hard time killing the ads at the higher stages.
Yeah, like he's got Cupidus as well. Cupidus, Alice, Arbiter, Harima, Uugo.
That's just how the game goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, every shard, I was like, oh man, what a load of trash. That's all I was saying whenever I was pulling shards.
I pulled my first Lego on Thursday, and it was a War Chief, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, I've seen the video. Yeah, I've seen it.
This is like so unexciting.
I pulled the guy who YST wears the mask for. Oh, what's his name?
Genzin?
Yeah, Genzin. Yeah, I pulled Genzin. And
I would imagine in Fire Knight, that's the problem. Sometimes you get these legendaries, and they're good for certain content areas, but that's not what you need early in the game. You need generalists.
Yeah, I just didn't get on with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. He's got his uses, I suppose, but from what you wouldn't put him as like your second or third 6-star, would you?
No, he's not a single target, right?
Yeah, he's got attacked one enemy 3 times on his A1. Oh, he's got an AoE on his A2, and he's got a decreased defense. And then he's got, attacks one enemy on the A3, and he ignores unkillable and shields, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think and then what's his passive here? Sometimes those are the biggest. Increases this champion's speed by 10, and resistance by 50 if the number of champions on this champion's team is equal to or less than on the enemy team. Yeah.
I
mean, he would be on the list. I don't know. It just would depend on the roster. I mean, I think if early, granted that you already had like a Alice, if you had, some sort of support or CC champion, I would take it over a Genzin. But Genzin would be on my list of getting him up.
Yeah, because he's got decreased defense, but then it's like, well, I thought Uugo was way better to get to level 60 first. Because she's got the AoE decreased defense and block buffs, and she's healing, and she's reviving, and she's got leech. So
yeah, especially considering I'm assuming you already had Alice and probably Kale leveled at that point.
Yeah, and I had Wukong as well.
Yeah.
The damage, so he just didn't do it for me. I got that Glide Kid as well.
How has he been? He's never a champion I've really used actually in any capacity.
He's not too bad. He's got a freeze on the A1, hasn't he? And then he's got increased attack and perfect veil, and then like a turn meter fill on the A2. And then his A3, he's got a revive, 40% HP and 25% turn meter. But then you've got like Tagoar revives, Uugo revives, you've got Sababa revives. This is like, got like revives coming out of everywhere.
Yeah. And it's a tough one. Like, I've always been underwhelmed with an increased accuracy buff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, I mean, I doubt you have this champion, but like an Ursula the Mourner is an epic.
Yeah.
You can get increased defense and big increased strength and more turn meter and health on a revive like that. So he's definitely a champion you'd still increase because the aura is good too. But
yeah, like if I got him on my main, I would build him out and probably use him somewhere. But on the free-to-play challenge, it's like getting books for him is a pain. And then even like ascending them, the legendaries, it takes so much more of those potions, doesn't it? And I was just like, I cannot.
Books is a huge deal.
Yeah, I can't afford to keep chucking energy at potion keeps to get them ascended. It's like trying to burn through as many 6 stars as possible. But I did end up getting him to 6 star. But I haven't used him a great deal. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is.
Totally. I saw that you're looking at what your next series is going to be.
Yeah.
So
So
everybody make sure they go and vote on that poll. I saw that there's an Only Voids option on there. I will not disclose what I voted for.
You voted on that one. I reckon you started the trend because it was winning at one point, and I was like, "Oh no,
really?
I've got to do an Only Voids." And then I think towards the back end of the night, a new free-to-play series. To be honest, if I was going to pick one and not worry about what people wanted to see, I would go epics and rares only. Just because
I thought about doing something like that before.
Yeah, just because you'll be building out teams and champions you would just never touch. The same with your solely voids. Whereas if you just do a normal free to play series, as soon as you pull a worldie, you're building it out, aren't you? And it's going to just carry the account. Whereas if you can't have any Legos, you're going to be using a lot of epics and rares. Well, I think anyway, which will make it a bit more interesting.
That's kind of the nice thing about the Solely Voids account is that you still get like the perk of playing with legendaries. It's just they are very few and far between. But either way, I'm looking forward to whatever the next path is for you. I'm really looking forward to it. I will obviously be checking in on those.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to leave it to the viewers to decide. I normally do that with a lot of stuff anyway. So like who I want a 6-star net, I usually put a poll out and they pick and I just go with it. Whether to pull shards or pull soul stones, I put a poll out. If it comes back no, save and hold for someone else, I won't pull. But if they're all like, yeah, burn everything, I go and burn it all. So
I'm surprised you don't get more burn everything.
They do. Yeah, they do. It's always burn, isn't it? It's always burn. Burn everything. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I started the free to play series to show you how to do everything efficient and like how to save for events. And like every time there's a chance to burn, they're all like, burn it all, burn everything, pull everything.
It's fun. That's the fun. That's the most fun part of the game, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's probably the one thing I have enjoyed about this free to play series is on like my main and other free to play. I'm like really efficient and I'm saving. Whereas on this, I was just like YOLOing like everything. And I've never YOLO'd on this game before, like at all. So
it just gives that. It's just like the fun element that you normally don't get to be able to do.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, I reckon we're going to wrap it up there, guys.
Right on. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so make sure you go check out his channel. I'll link it down in the description. So yeah, nice having you on, man. And I guess I'll speak to you soon.
All right, see you.
Yeah, take care, guys, and I will see you in the next one.